Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a brand new TEW2020 video. You join us for the 7th instalment of AEW Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's probably one of our shorter shows because obviously I tended to keep it to how it would have been in real life, a 2 hour kind of show, although we have pushed it to 3 hours because of the amount of folk we have here. But I'm looking forward to it. It's really quite storyline heavy. It's going to show what I've been building up the last couple of weeks. I've signed a lot of new talent, but it's more talent to put people over so I can start to progress storylines a lot better. And there's been a few names that have come up from Impact as well, of course, our development company. 98 last year, 96 the year before that, 95, 98 and 91 and a 73 when we're just getting to grips with the game and the mods. So it's going to be really interesting to see what we get here with a main event. Of course, it was all set up at the last event. It was of course Kenny Omega, the Stadium with Konosuke, Takeshita. Can Kenny return and win the big one? We're live on AEW Plus. We're live on AEW pay-per-view that no one will buy because all of us have the network. This is from Arthur Ashe Stadium, Grand Slam 2027. Enjoy. So here we are. We're sold out in Arthur Ashe Stadium, 23,771, and we start off with the hometown hero, naturally a heel, but will probably be a babyface here, as he makes an elaborate entrance for our opening contest of the night. Previously on Rampage, he decided to take out just the one and only Kazuchika Okada, and he says, I think I'm pretty much one of the best, if not the best in the world. I'm going to prove that. I'm going to kick your ass all over Arthur Ashe Stadium, and I'm going to put myself right in contention to be world champion again, because I'm better than you, and you know it. So 79 is MJF makes his entrance. That's him when he signed off the last Rampage. So here we go, straight in, Okada, MJF to open up the show. And straight in within 90. Exceptional matchup. MJF defeats Okada in 22-18 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. So Okada we've got over in the US. He's fully up to like 90 plus overness, so that's not a problem. Now he can take a few defeats. And I felt like MJF is someone who's up there. You know, he is obviously a former world champion. He's very over. So I felt like this would be a great opener in his home area. So a 90 for the matchup, 97 for Okada, 87 for MJF. But MJF picks up the win, and I think his technical skills are only going to get better, wrestling long matches against the likes of Kazuchika Okada. Continuing the theme of New Yorkers getting their match up here, Chris Statlander is teaming up with the TBS champion Elena Black to take on two members of our newest faction. So Chris Jericho obviously was mentoring Danny Luna, and he was also mentoring Lee Moriarty, and he said to Danny, I've got two compatriots for you, and I think the three of these can make a good little tandem. So I've got them together up from Impact Wrestling. We've got Bobby Tyler, we've got Xia Brookside, and they're aligned with Danny Luna. But in this instance, you've got to give the hometown hero the victory, and Elena Black and Chris Statlander pick up the win in 7:59 when Statlander pinned Brookside with the area 4-5-1. So a 70 matchup overall, two good performances there. Brookside and Tyler are firmly works in progresses, but I think alongside Danny Luna they can certainly do some good stuff as they develop over time, and it gives us a bit more depth to our women's tag division, which I do feel was missing. We have a little backstage segment. We have from Rampage, Matty Wahlberg, so I think he's on Collision now. It just basically says, Prince Devitt, someone, you know, who's completely over the hill, completely past it. Mate, what's happened? You've been absolutely terrible for years. You've lost it. Just retire. With a terrible Aussie accent. I don't even know what the accent turned into at one point, but the mentality for this promo is basically to have Devitt then respond and say, I've still got it. Do you know what? And I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to kick your ass here at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Prince Devitt, Matty Wahlberg, later this evening, 64 rated matchup. Segment even, sorry. Then had the tag titles in the line. It was about to had great wrestling and good heat, as the Generals retained them against the Lucha Bros in 13-21 when Axel Barthel pinned Penta with the Regal Plex, giving them their second defence of the World Tag titles. In 85, Penta and Rey Fenix bring 91s despite Penta being off his game, and you can see that we actually added a little bit extra to the Lucha Bros. We've given them Vampiro as a manager, so I don't want to take the title straight off the Generals. I want to try and build them up a little bit. So a good title defence there for the Generals. And a good win for Axel Barthel. Moving swiftly on, for the Shine Championship, Io Shirai made her intentions known on Rampage, and she took on the new champ Jamie Hayter. But it was about to have great wrestling and good heat as Jamie Hayter defeats Io Shirai in 13:24 by pinfall with a curb stomp. Third defence for Jamie, a 76. Jamie was off her game with 73, but she is getting better. Those performances were a little less. But even though she's getting over in age, even though she's not been the most well booked recently, Io Shirai still brings an 89 performance. Fantastic stuff in our Rampage Women's Division. We then move over to Collision for the Collision World Championship. Eddie Kingston gets a fantastic ovation. It's a massive pop for Eddie as he's going to put his title on the line against Powerhouse Hobbs to see if the champ can reclaim his gold at 72. And as much as I didn't want to do it, these two have fought twice already. This was the third time, so they couldn't fight again. And it was a bout with great heat and good wrestling. Powerhouse Hobbs gets the win over Eddie Kingston in his hometown in 12:50 with a frog splash, thanks to interference from CM Punk. Means that Powerhouse Hobbs is a two-time Collision champion, a 78 rated segment, and as you can imagine, Eddie is absolutely livid. So much that he chases CM Punk completely out of the building. Punk gets into a car. Eddie's like, nah, screw this. Basically, Grand Theft Auto when a car takes it. And he chases CM Punk pretty much through the streets of New York. And that's a 74 rated segment, or whatever part of the area that Arthur Ashe is in. I'm assuming it's New York anyway. We then had the match up between Prince Devitt and Matty Wahlberg. And it had good heat and decent wrestling, and Matty Wahlberg with a win over Prince Devitt in 11:12 with Posterizer. As long as it's not that stupid finisher he does where he jumps out the ring and then jumps in, and that just looks silly. But anyway, he gets the win anyway by 72. It's to try and push him a wee bit further in the future, but there is big things coming for a declining Prince Devitt. And that's another defeat for him. So was what Cody Rhodes was, what Ethan Page said to him, starting to make sense and eat into him. It remains to be seen. Moving swiftly on, before Veronica's championship match here, she takes on Priscilla Kelly. We had some words from Mercedes Moné. She's interrupted Veronica before Priscilla gets there. And she says, just you wait. One day I will claim that championship off you. One day you will no longer be unbeaten. I have a plan and you will not be ready for it. Veronica just mocks her and laughs. She goes, okay, been here before. It's fine. I'll deal with it when it happens. It was also my kind of cheap way to try and get a 100 rated segment. Unfortunately, in 96, because of the poor performance from Tom Phillips, who is leaving, by the way. He's signed an exclusive deal to go to Impact that I didn't offer, so he's going away. We get Scott Stanford in straight away, so we'll be fine. So Veronica versus Priscilla Kelly, and it was good. Fantastic heat, good wrestling, and Veronica picks up the win in 14:20 with the locked Ray Slice, her fourth defence of the AEW Women's World Championship. So 77, Priscilla would carry it in terms of technique, Veronica in terms of psychology. I made it steal the show, but we're still a good bit away before we get Veronica to close that belt, whenever her and Mercedes could tangle, could be at the time, but you can see a lot of negatives there, inexperience, so we still need to basically give her match after match after match. She's 96 over, but she's still inexperienced, and maybe she struggled a bit with stamina and try to go all out. So maybe it's my bad. I see a match under 12 minutes and I think they can go all out. Maybe a 14-minute match all out. A little bit too much for them, but still respectable. But it's after the match when we get the impact as Veronica is beaten down by a trio of Trinity Star, Liviana Morgan and Maddie Renkowski. So, this is a storyline I've got in my head, so let me try and explain it. Obviously, Mercedes is with Roxy. Roxy kept losing, so she enlisted the help of Liviana Morgan, who was on Rampage. She obviously came in and assisted. Trinity Star was signed, and I thought, well, obviously put Trinity with Mercedes, so then she helped her out, so that's two. They were on an episode of Collision, and they bumped into Maddie Renkowski. They saw she was down her luck, but they looked at her and go, you've got a bit of glamour kind of feel about you. The plan is, in the storyline, to ditch the Maddie Renkowski name. It's going to be something like Marvelous Maddie or something, to go with Trinity Star, Mercedes Moné and Liviana Morgan. And then we're obviously going to change the Roxy character up. She will stay in this faction, but it'll be like, I don't know, Roxy Perez, just something flash. something just to make this group $1 million and give Mercedes a lot of lackeys, and of course give us some tag teams out of it. So 61, that's the plan. Maybe call them, I was going to say Mercedes Angels, but that would require somebody else to be the lead. But overall, I'm happy with that. A little backstage segment. Walter's not in the card tonight, but he bumps into Axel Barthel and Adrian Sevilla, and he says to him, when we were doing our dumps, Walter, we said to you could join us. Look at us now, man. You didn't join us, but we are rocking and rolling. But remember one thing, the offer will always stand. And Walter kind of looks at it and goes, it's tempting, it's interesting, but will he eventually move and join back up with Axel Barthel and Adrian Sevilla? And that was a 66 rated segment. We then had the Trios Championships on the line. The House of Black took on the United Empire. And in this one, it was a good matchup that saw the House of Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, Malachi Black defeat Aaron Hanair and Aussie Open in 13:56 when Brody pinned Aaron Hanair with a Gonzo Bomb. House of Black win the Trios Championships, a nice solid 80 rated matchup, with Buddy losing the IWGP US Championship to Robbie Eagles on a New Japan show. So I've done this save now 6 years, and that's the first time that AI's took the title off somebody I've given it to, and one of their own. So yeah, freed up this to be 3 guys that are baby faces and are just going to maul people. But I'm hoping to have some good stuff going forward in the Trios division. We then had a little segment between Nick and Matt Jackson. They just go, well, we're not booked tonight. Obviously I've saw what's happened earlier on. Hopefully Kenny gets the job done, but we'll see how he reacts, and if he reacts in a bad way, it might be time to follow through with the plan. They kind of nod and they leave it there. 65 rated segment. I think that sets us right up for Takeshita versus Kenny. Oh, so close. It could have been 100. It could have been 100. It's not. Oh, that's going to make me cry. So close to it. That could have been number 2. Just another. I mean, I'd been 48 away if I'd just got that. But 99. You wonder if Kenny doesn't have the physical decline if that goes 100. But and about the had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Takeshita defeats Kenny in 1937 with a javelin kick, giving Takeshita his 8th defence of the world title. Both guys have great chemistry together that enhances their performances, hence why you get the 100 out of Takeshita. If we just look down, you can see, is that the thing that's cost us 100, that Kenny's breaking down? He no longer can give us that 100 match, but still absolutely crazy stuff. And end the show, Takeshita's champion and Kenny has a temper tantrum. So that means what really? Well, the Bucks mentioned something. The plan is there is a massive few ideas in my head that I just need to get to fruition. It's kind of rinsing and repeating something I've done before, but to a different degree. But I think it's going to give me a massive case of so many things going forward. But I finished the show. I was pretty confident it was going to get 100 as soon as that drew 99. I was like, yep. So that's ideal in terms of hopefully getting us a wee step closer to the achievement for that. But the 100 matches, only 1 of 50 so far, continues till it is. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, a lot of storyline stuff and a lot of stuff we're building up to over the next couple of months. And I think I've got 1 Dynamite to book, and I have to book the Dynamite Anniversary Special, which counts as a pay-per-view. So yeah, 2 Dynamites in 1 night. So we're booking 1, but that is what it is. But you guys will see that next week on the channel. We'll have some special matches. We don't need everything to be like storyline, massive stakes. We'll have like some fun 8-man tags, etc. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to check out the Fantasy Bookers subreddit, the Grey Dog Software forums, and any comments, likes, subs, all that jazz are all deeply appreciated. And if you want to keep up with our stuff, I'm 21Maxwell on the old Twitter and Instagram as well. So take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.